Welcome to the Cowboys versus Ninjas podcast. Everyday addictive stories told in an epic way. We'll keep you craving more tales of samurai and gunslinger adventures, so be sure to rate and follow for more Cowboys versus Ninjas episodes.
Sounds like a plan.
Today we're diving into the captivating world of flash fiction, exploring two narratives from these amazing collections that are sure to thrill and maybe even surprise you with a bit of insight along the way.
Yeah, I think you picked some really interesting pieces. It's kind of cool to see how flash fiction, with its brevity, can still create such vivid worlds and compelling conflicts.
Absolutely. So first up, we're heading back to the Wild West, 1889. Picture a booming city, you know the kind, fortunes made and lost in a blink. At the heart of it all is the Ironstone Grand Bank, a true fortress boasting a vault said to be unbreakable. Our first story, Vault of Shadows, follows the infamous Black Vulture Gang, led by Cyrus Deadeye Crowe, as they try to pull off what seems like a foolproof plan to relieve this bank of its riches. A classic Western heist, right? I can see why this one caught your eye.
Oh yeah, the classic Western heist. Outlaws, impossible odds, the showdown is coming. It's a familiar setup, but it just works.
But there's a twist. This isn't just about cowboys and six-shooters. The Kurogasa Clan, legendary ninja assassins, are silently infiltrating that same vault at the same time. Now, they aren't after the gold. They're after something far more dangerous, a hidden artifact locked deep within. Katanas slicing through the dusty air where you'd expect the clang of spurs. What hits you first when you see these two worlds collide like that?
I think it's the way the ninjas immediately up the ante. The Black Vulture Gang, their plan, it would be the main conflict in any other Western. But here, it's just one layer of a much bigger, more complex situation. It makes you think about how just one unexpected element can completely change a familiar genre and make the story so much richer.
I totally agree. And it gets even wilder. It goes beyond cowboys versus ninjas. The straightforward heist and the stealthy infiltration, they both spiral into a three-way battle in the suffocating darkness of the vault. Outlaws who came for gold find themselves fighting for their lives against an enemy they never saw coming. Ninjas, masters of stealth, struggling to adapt to the chaos and gunfire.
And then there's the third element, right? The one that really throws everything into disarray. The artifact in the vault, it's not just some trinket. It's connected to an ancient curse. And all the commotion, well, it's woken something up, something ghostly.
Oh yeah, right in the middle of the bullets and shurikens, the dead start to rise. Imagine that. These two groups, ready to kill each other just moments ago, now facing a supernatural threat that forces them to consider joining forces. What does that kind of forced alliance in the face of overwhelming odds tell you about conflict?
Well, I think it shows how a common enemy, a threat to everyone's survival, can overcome even the deepest rivalries. When it's about life or death, former enemies might find common ground, even if it's a fragile alliance born out of pure necessity. And that adds a whole new dynamic to the story, one that goes beyond just the clash of genres.
Definitely. And the story climaxes in this insane showdown.
Yeah.
You've got Cyrus Crowe, the ultimate gunslinger, facing off against a ninja grandmaster, skill against skill, style against style. And then there's Akira the Black Lotus, a deadly kunoichi facing a huge choice. Does she complete her clan's mission no matter the cost, or does she choose the immediate survival of everyone trapped in that cursed vault? That internal struggle, it adds a layer of moral complexity, doesn't it?
It does. It goes beyond just good guys versus bad guys or rival factions. It makes you question the boundaries of loyalty and the power of individual choice, even within a group as disciplined as Ninja Clan. It makes you think, what is she ultimately responsible for?
And over it all limbs the Vault Guardian, the vengeful spirit of a gunslinger, woken by all the chaos and determined to protect its treasure, its eternal sleep, no matter the cost. You've got classic Western elements, ninja mystique, and supernatural horror, all colliding in this intense space. It really highlights how flash fiction can blend seemingly different genres so effectively, creating an experience unlike anything else.
It really does. Vault of Shadows, it takes those familiar elements, the bank heist, the ninja assassin, throws in the supernatural twist, and boom, you've got a narrative that keeps you on the edge of your seat, constantly wondering what's going to happen next.
All right, get ready for a sharp turn. Our next flash fiction piece, BMX to the Stars, takes the ninja concept and launches it into the modern age and then straight into outer space. It features Jake, a BMX prodigy who's also part of an underground ninja crew called The Path. You picked this one, and I have to admit, the premise, BMX and ninjas battling aliens, it's pretty audacious. What drew you to it?
I think it's that unexpected combination, the way it takes something grounded in reality, urban culture, BMX riding in alleyways, and then throws it into this totally wild, fantastical scenario.
Hmm.
It makes you wonder how those familiar skills, those subcultures, might unexpectedly find a place in the face of the extraordinary.
So picture this. Jake and his crew are pulling off amazing tricks on this crazy BMX course they built in an alley, classic urban scene. Then, bam, their world is literally rocked by a spaceship appearing right above them. Forget kickflips, gravity is going haywire, and suddenly, aliens. Not the cute, friendly kind either. These are lean, green beings with expressions that say, "Don't mess with us."
Yeah, that sudden appearance of the extraterrestrial, it's jarring, to say the least. It's a perfect example of how flash fiction can just drop you right into a bizarre, high-stakes situation without any lengthy setup or explanation.
And the stakes get even higher when these aliens, with their universal translator thingamajigs humming on their chests, abduct Maya, Jake's best friend and fellow member of the Path, along with the rest of the crew. They're chosen, the aliens say, to race for the freedom of Earth. Can you imagine seeing your friends beamed up into a spaceship to compete in some kind of intergalactic Grand Prix?
It's both ridiculous and terrifying at the same time. The fate of the planet hinging on a BMX race, it's out there for sure. But the emotional core, Jake's fear for his friends, that's what keeps it grounded.
But Jake isn't the kind of guy to just stand by and watch. Adrenaline pumping, fueled by loyalty, he slips through the closing doors of the spaceship just as it takes off. And suddenly he's in this strange alien environment, a maze of glowing ramps, weird creatures on even weirder vehicles. And there, strapped to a modified BMX bike, is Maya, with a menacing alien looming over her. What does that split-second decision to jump on board tell you about Jake?
It shows his courage, his loyalty, his willingness to face the unknown, to face impossible odds, all for his friends. He doesn't even hesitate. It speaks to that basic human drive to protect the people we care about, no matter the cost.
With no time to think, Jake throws himself onto the nearest ramp. He's a master of BMX tricks, but his ninja training kicks in instinctively. Those skills, balance, agility, he uses them all in this alien landscape, launching himself into a flying kick that takes out one of the alien racers. Talk about adapting to a new situation.
It's a testament to the way skills can transfer, how expertise in one area can unexpectedly come in handy in another. The discipline, the physical control from BMX and ninja training, it all proves surprisingly effective against alien opponents, even in zero gravity. Makes you think about the hidden potential in those skills we might think of as niche or specialized.
The race course itself is insane, defying gravity, twisting, turning, throwing obstacles in their path. Fear is a natural reaction, but seeing Maya struggling, it fuels Jake's determination. He's not just a BMX rider anymore, he's a ninja on a mission. That blending of identities, it's crucial, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's that fusion of his two worlds that gives him an edge in this alien arena. He's not relying on brute force or fancy technology. He's combining agility, strategy, a deep understanding of movement. He's using everything he's got.
The finish line comes into view, this bright white ring in the middle of the ship. Jake pushes himself to the limit, building speed, the alien leader watching, confident in his victory. But Jake has a different ending in mind. He launches off a ramp, soaring through the air in a moment of pure defiance. What do you make of that image of him flying through the alien ship?
I see it as a symbol of resilience, ingenuity, the human spirit overcoming impossible odds. In that moment, Jake transcends his everyday identity. He becomes something more, a symbol of hope against a force that seems unstoppable.
He crashes through the ring, the impact sending shockwaves through the ship. Then silence. A groan. The alien leader is down. Maya and the others are free. As the ship lurches upward, escaping Earth's atmosphere, a wave of disbelief washes over them. They actually pulled it off. But then, a twist. The alien leader has vanished, leaving behind the small, glowing device. Jake picks it up. One press, and they could be back in that alley, the whole thing a weird dream. Or it could be a trap. He hesitates for a second, then makes his choice. Risk is all they have left. He presses the button. Talk about an ending that leaves you wanting more.
It's that unpredictability, the way it makes you think about the consequences, both immediate and long-term, that makes flash fiction so compelling. It's a punch packed into a few pages.
Two amusing stories. From the shadowy vault and Vault of Shadows, where cowboys and ninjas face off against an ancient evil, to the chaotic alien race and BMX to the Stars, where a BMX ninja fights for the fate of Earth. You brought us some fantastic examples of how flash fiction can deliver action, twists, and leave a lasting impression.
Absolutely. Vaults of Shadows turns the classic Western on its head by introducing ninjas and then throws in a supernatural threat for good measure. It makes you realize how adding unexpected antagonists can change a familiar story completely. And that image of those completely different groups forced to work together, it really makes you think.
And BMX to the Stars, it takes an ordinary kid and throws him into this wild, outlandish situation, showing how skills we use every day might be more powerful than we realize, especially when faced with the unimaginable. It makes you think about the potential we all have and how we might rise to the occasion when faced with challenges we never could have predicted. Jake's decision at the end with that alien device, it perfectly captures that mix of hope and uncertainty that good flash fiction can evoke.
We hope this look into these two flash fiction pieces has sparked your imagination. Think about how they used unexpected combinations, rising stakes, and compelling characters to create these unforgettable experiences. What other seemingly mismatched elements could you combine to create your own captivating stories?
Thanks for joining us on the Cowboys versus Ninjas podcast. We encourage you to think about these tales and maybe even share your thoughts on what stood out to you. What kind of unexpected crossovers in storytelling do you find most interesting? Until our next adventure, keep those questions coming, and remember, amazing stories can be found in the most unexpected places. Don't forget to rate and follow for more Cowboys versus Ninjas episodes.
Catch you next time.